Now, of course, in your very volatile political situation in Israel, there will be some people telling the Netanyahu government that they should not cut any deal at all with Hamas. Others saying in order to get back hostages, they should give Hamas anything they want. So what do we expect is going to happen here, particularly when it comes to hostages? Surely no deal is acceptable if it doesn't include the release of all hostages.
Well, we're looking at something now, at least according to all the reports and rumors, which is somewhere in the middle. It's an awkward compromise, but release of 33 hostages, some of which are just dead bodies. And then thousands of Palestinians will be released in the first round. And then there's a series of other rounds stretched over months. That's what we're hearing as rumors. And many Israelis are very upset about that. But Prime Minister Netanyahu is basically saying, look, this is the best we can get. We have to bring those hostages back. They've been tortured, they've been raped, they've been mutilated for 467 days now. We need to bring them back, and we're going to have to take some risks. There is a sense that the Israeli military can handle those risks. We're not going to go back to all those fake ceasefires of 2009 and 2021 and all the ones in between. If there are any violations by Hamas, if there's any new tunnels being built, those will be exploded immediately. You're looking at a different Israel, a much sharper Israel, I would say a much angrier Israel, ready to take military action at the slightest violation of a ceasefire. That's different. And of course, yeah, there'll be the condemnations from all the usual sources, particularly the United Nations and across the board. But Israel's not going to allow Hamas or Hezbollah or Iran to violate the ceasefires, to do what they did in the past, which is to rebuild and be back to where we were another 3, 4, 5 years from now. That's not going to happen.
Well, that is good news, although it's so difficult, right? They need to know what's going on in Gaza. And we've seen, of course, in southern Lebanon, under a UN protectorate, Hezbollah had managed to strengthen up and rearm itself in that area.
But that was everybody has learned the lesson. And many of the people that were involved in that long period have resigned or will be resigned. They'll be forced to leave. And I think Prime Minister Netanyahu realizes that as well, that for far too many years, we allowed the Israeli government, the Israeli military, allowed Hezbollah and Hamas to build these massive tunnel networks, to fill them up with tens of thousands of missiles. When you think about the scale of the armaments that were in these hands of these terrorists, and that's something we never hear from our critics, whether it's in Australia, whether it's in Canada, whether it's in Europe, we never hear about that. No. We allowed, because we believed that there was going to be deterrence. They wouldn't use those against us because they know they'd be destroyed. We're not going to be back in that situation. They're not going to be allowed to rearm. And Israel will be told, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be attacking them because you haven't proven that their intentions are bad. Israel's not going to wait to prove their intentions are bad anymore. This is, you're looking at a different Israel and a different Middle East from now on.
Yeah,
regardless of...
That'll be emphasised as well by the incoming US president, I would expect as well. Thanks so much for joining us, Gerald. I appreciate your time. Gerald Steinberg there, professor from Bar-llan University, live from Jerusalem.